A felonious assault on an 11-year-old child by a city commissioner.
After just 1 month as an elected official, a Lake Wales City Commissioner finds her new job in question tonight. Polk County Bureau reporter Stacy DeSilva joins us from Lake Wales City Hall with reaction to her arrest. What exactly are the allegations?
Well, Stacy, Kristen Fitzgerald is accused of taking an 11-year-old boy away from his house without his parents' permission and then threatening to, quote, bury him. It is shocking news to the people who work with her here at City Hall. Exactly 1 month after Kristen Fitzgerald was sworn into office, Sheriff Grady Judd announces her arrest.
She is supposed to set the positive example for the community to follow.
Fitzgerald won her Lake Wales special election in April by 33 votes, beating the incumbent who was endorsed by Sheriff Judd, according to local reports. Now Fitzgerald is accused of threatening a child while holding a gun. Deputies say she picked the 11-year-old boy up at his house and took him to this local honey store. She confronted him about allegations of inappropriate behavior with her daughter.
He said she threatened to kill me and bury me alive. Her statement was, I didn't say I was going to bury him alive. I said I was going to bury him.
The boy said she was displaying a handgun on her lap until she dropped him off at home.
We just heard about this morning. We read the story online. It's very concerning and upsetting.
Lake Wales City Clerk Jennifer Nanick says Fitzgerald's future on the commission will likely be discussed in upcoming meetings.
As far as her seat goes, she will remain commissioner for now.
I tried calling Commissioner Fitzgerald and got her voicemail. I'll update the story if I hear back. She is facing 2 charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Reporting live in Lake Wales, I'm Stacy DeSilva, 8 on your side.
Well, hi guys, I'm Sunshine the Goddess. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to my channel. According to the arrest affidavit on June 2nd around 10:50 p.m., Polk County Sheriff's Office and Lake Wales Police responded to an armed disturbance in Lake Wales. Once on the scene, law enforcement learned that Fitzgerald took the 11-year-old boy without permission of the child's parents and threatened him. Deputies say that Fitzgerald accused the boy of touching her 13-year-old daughter in a sexual manner, but when the boy denied those allegations, Fitzgerald threatened to kill him. During a forensic interview on June 3rd, the child told deputies that Fitzgerald had called and wanted to speak with him, but not his mother. The boy told deputies that Fitzgerald arrived to his home and asked him to come outside, and that's when he went and got into the car with her. The boy told police that he thought Fitzgerald was going to give him a gift for finishing the school year, but instead drove him to the honey house and confronted him about the sexual allegations. Deputies say that Fitzgerald began to drive the boy back home but pulled out a purple handgun and told the boy, "You see this? I will bury you." Fitzgerald denied pointing a firearm at the boy and told police that she was heartbroken when she heard the allegations from her daughter. She remains in the Polk County jail on no bond. Hey guys, so you guys just saw that small news clip and you guys just heard me read it, and you guys know how I pretty much do this. I address the people themselves for the most part, and to Miss Commissioner Lady, you know, my heart goes out to you, but also I gotta let you know where you messed up, you know what I'm saying? And there were so many other ways that you could have handled this situation that did not involve you taking a child, basically kidnapping a child from their home and then threatening them with a firearm. Now, I understand being a protective mother, and one of the worst things that a parent, period, could face or hear is that someone has brought harm to their children. But we have to remember that as adults, we have to be careful in which the ways that we choose to avenge our children, especially when we're avenging them against other children, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? We're still adults and there's still a child. There's still certain things that just should not happen. There's certain boundaries that should never ever be crossed. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, sis, in the report, I saw that you were just sworn in last month and you beat your opponent, who happened to be the runner-up, who Sheriff Grady Judd actually wanted to win. So the sheriff in you guys' town, which is Polk County, in your county, he wanted somebody else to win. and you got the position. Baby, you were supposed to be on your P's and your Q's because they've been on your ass like white on rice. I can assure you of that. You know what I'm saying? The position that you're holding, it is a position of power. You understand? That position can help you and your young daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I wish that you would have maybe considered that a lot more before you did what you did. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm from Florida. I'm not from Polk County. No, shout out to all my Polk County people. I love y'all too. I'm not from Polk County. But I do live in Florida. I am from Florida. And I'll tell you something. I'll probably play in every county in Florida. I might just play if I want to be ratchet. If I want to be ratchet, I go play in almost every county in Florida except Polk County, because I know that Sheriff Grady Judd is the one running that town. And baby, he will make an example out of your ass. Okay, he don't play them games. Everybody in Florida know about him. Don't go over there playing. You driving through, you need to do the speed limit. Don't be buying nothing if you need it. You're gonna have to get to the next town before you get your little devil's grass or whatever you want to do. Don't do it in Polk County. And for you to have that knowledge, I'm sure, and you still chose to move like this, knowing what you're up against. This is a sheriff who's known for making examples out of people. You beat his friend, and now you do this. Baby, he was sitting down holding your picture like he was reading to a classroom full of children, explaining to them all the things. That is how he was sitting up there holding her picture. Baby, we were supposed to move a whole lot smarter than that. We just can't. You know what I'm saying? The position that you have, there's already too little black people in your position. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, my mom used to always tell me, you know, you don't have the room to make certain errors. You know, you have to work harder. You have to be smarter. You have to stay on your P's and Q's. And I used to just get so frustrated with her when she would do that. Because I'm like, stop telling me that. I ain't got to do all of that, man. Leave me alone. But as an adult, I totally think and understand where she's coming from, because you have to conduct yourself in a certain way. When you are in those kind of positions, you have to discipline yourself. You have to practice a lot of patience, you know, and you have to practice communication. Like, you really don't have a lot of room for error, ma'am. You have a very high position that you were holding. So you were supposed to handle things a lot differently. I'm not understanding why we could not have simply gone to the child's parents and spoken to them, because it says in the report that you went to the child's house and the child got in the car with you because he thought you were about to give him a gift. So that means that you already had some sort of a rapport with this child. So you didn't know this child. Most likely you knew his parents too, for him to get in the car and not even tell them and feel that that was okay. So this child was very familiar with you. At the time of the situation that they said it occurred, your daughter was 12 and this child was 10, meaning your daughter was older than this child. Now, I'm not excusing whatever took place. I wasn't there. And I'm not calling your daughter a liar. I would never, ever do that. And if she was wronged, indeed, then I am so sorry to her. I am. But as a mother, you should have spoken to that kid's parents. Instead of picking that kid up and taking him off and threatening him with a gun in your car, why not just pull up to the house, speak with his parents, bring your daughter to, and have them all sit down and we figure out what the heck happened here, what exactly was said, what exactly was done, so that we can get some sort of a resolution, whether that be, you know, we have to file some charges because, hey, there was a violation that took place, or whatever the case may be, because it is a kid, or, hey, you guys are not allowed to be friends anymore, you can't play together anymore. You know, I probably would have been able to accept it a little bit more had I seen that you pulled up on the boy's mama and showed your behind with her. If they would have read the commissioner confronts, you know, child's mother over her child, I could probably give you a pass for that. But for you to go and get a 10-year-old at the time or 11-year-old at the time, take them into your car, the child tells you that they didn't do whatever it was, or they denied or whatever have you, you threaten the child with a gun, and you also tell that child that you're going to bury them, whether you said bury them or bury them alive, all of it means I'm going to kill you. So that's just something that shouldn't have happened. As a mother, you know what I'm saying? I understand, you know, you wanting to protect your daughter. I understand you feeling like your back was up against the wall, if that makes sense. But that was not the way to handle it. You know, I get it. I get it. I get it. No parent wants to learn at all that their child has been mistreated, harmed, misspoken to, or violated in any way, especially sexually. You know, it could bring on a rage of hatred towards that individual that is unmatched by anything I've ever seen before. And it can feel like the only option that as a parent that you would have is to completely eliminate the threat. But when we're dealing with children, we have to remember that we're adults and we can't handle them the exact same way. You know what I'm saying? If it's an adult, then I believe the rules are a lot different. You know, I might not have been so upset if you pulled up on and put them in the car and did all of those things. That doesn't mean those things were right. But if they're an adult, we know that they got enough sense. But a little kid of that age, it was wrong. But I'm not crazy enough to believe that you would just go out and do something like that. I'm a little bit deeper than that. And by your actions, I'm going to go out on a limb based off what my spirit is telling me. And that is that you may have been violated as a child too. And because of that, when you were told that something that happened to your child, it triggered something in you. It triggered an alarm in you. And I get that. I understand that more than anybody will ever get that. And for that, I'm sorry if that is what happened to you. If that happened to you, I am deeply sorry because you didn't deserve that. If it didn't, then please forgive me. But the way you reacted makes me feel like there may be some unresolved things that you're dealing with. And that is why you reacted so strongly, because maybe in your mind it's like, I know what that feels like. I never wanted my baby to feel that. How dare that person make my baby feel that way? I'm going to get them. Like, I get that. I get that, and I understand it. I really do. You know, I think you can definitely use some counseling, you know, some help, because that wasn't a normal thing to do. But I do understand trauma and how it can affect people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're redeemable. I don't feel like you're, you know, someone that just should be thrown away or anything like that. I do believe that you are redeemable. But you definitely need some counseling. You need some help. And you need, you know, a little break for a while, you know. Some vacation time maybe. Going forward, I can offer some suggestions in regards to when we're dealing with situations that happen with our kids, you know. Say for the situation took place at school. I don't know where it took place. Say for it took place at school. If something took place at school, we don't want to pull up to the school with our pistol. You know, we don't want to go up there and pistol whip the child or try to pistol whip the child's parent or anything like that. What we would want to do is look up that local district for that school. We'll look up the district's school board number. And we want to reach out to the superintendent and request a special meeting ASAP. We want to keep our child home and safe and give them some mental health days so that they can try to, you know, get through it and get them some counseling as well. And we want to go ahead and move forward in that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Let the school and yourself work to come up with a resolution, whether it's moving your kid to a new school or whatever the case may be. If situations happen at home or in the neighborhood, you know, based on the rapport that you may or may not have with the parents, if you have a good rapport with the parents, I would suggest, you know, giving them a call, going over in a respectful manner and letting them know, you know, hey, we need to have a talk and this is what it's about, etc., etc. If you do not feel that you have a good rapport with the parents, then do not take your behind over there, swinging your gun and all that stuff. No, you need to call the police and let them escort you, or, you know, figure it out where you guys can have some sort of neutral grounds to meet upon and take care of this situation. But you never want to pull up on a child and take them away from their home, threatening them in any way, form, or fashion, because at that time, now you've just committed a crime. You're trying to investigate a crime, but now you've just committed one in the process of you investigating it. And you also have to think about how this is going to affect that child and your child. Now, you pulled a gun on a child that I'm pretty sure trusted you because he thought you were going to give him a gift, so you must have gifted him things before. You pull a gun on and threatened to kill this child who trusted you. You know what I'm saying? Now he's going to probably have trauma, mental trauma behind this. His parents are going to, you know, be going through their own battles internally and feeling like, how do we let this person even get near our child, etc., etc. also you have to remember how this is going to make your daughter feel. You know, sometimes as parents, when we're doing that, we feel like we're helping, but sometimes we can also push our kids in positions to where they don't feel safe talking to us anymore because you reacted so extreme this time. You know, Lord forbid there's ever a next, but there could be something small that she just needs to tell you, but she may not even tell you now because she may feel like if she tells you, you know, you're going to react again, it's going to be her fault, and, you know, all of these things are going to happen, because I'm pretty sure she didn't think that you would respond in that way. You know what I'm saying? She didn't think that you would respond that way, and she's probably scared now. So we have to look at all of those things, you know, as parents when we're defending our kids. You know, as an adult, we have to think a lot. Like, if there's one thing that I've learned being an adult, we have to use our brains so freaking much. It's like we have to constantly think. Like, sometimes I just want to just stare at the wall and just drool and not think about anything. For real. As adults, especially as parents, like, we're constantly, our mind, it feels like your mind is constantly going. You have to think, you have to use your brain a lot, you know what I'm saying? And our main concerns when we're trying to help our kids in resolving, you know, situations or conflicts or whatever, stuff like this, the main concern is their safety. That's number one. Number two, we should be focusing on reaching a peaceful and permanent, you know, final resolution. And also, we need to carry ourselves in ways in which we can be proud of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, people tell me I'm wise, or, you know, they'll ask me, you know, how do you think like that, or how do you have that kind of wisdom at your age, and things like that. And I just always tell them, honestly, it's not because I'm some special smart extracurricular being or something like that. I just lived. You know what I'm saying? Life experience and my own intuition, you know, is pretty much what guides me. And I can't give this lady any advice without at least walking in her shoes. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've never pulled a gun on no kid or nothing like that, but I'll be honest with you, I had my first child when I was 17 years old, and needless to say, I was still a child in the mind and had not healed a lot of my childhood trauma at all. So I used to defend my son fiercely and ferociously, okay, like the Leo mama I am. I would go crazy about my son, and I would defend him so well that sometimes, I have to be honest, when I thought back about the ways in which I had handled myself while defending him, I was embarrassed and ashamed of myself, because I could have gotten those same resolutions that I reached for my son without the cursing, without the yelling, without the fighting, without the threatening to beat people up and burn their houses up. You know, all of those things, you know. Y'all gotta forgive me. I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? I learned, like, you didn't need to handle it that way, because me handling myself that way while defending him and him seeing that wasn't doing anything but teaching him that this is how you defend your kid, this is how you're supposed to react, and you know that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, we should always strive to handle ourselves in front of our children in ways in which later on we'll be proud about. I wasn't proud about that stuff when I went home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it felt good in the moment, you know, giving them a good piece of my mind and showing them who's boss. You ain't gonna mess with my kid, but did you have to do all that extra stuff? And that's what I thought about. So I had to learn, you know, moving forward. And now, even, you know, just like a month or so ago, we had a situation here, and I had to, you know, intervene on behalf of my child. And I really had to remind myself, like, on my way walking to talk to this kid, you got to remember, number one, you're a mother. Number two, your son is right here with you watching everything that you do. Number three, you're pregnant. And number four, I don't want to make the situation worse than what it already is. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, you know, stay very calm with this child that I really wanted to scream at. But we were able to get the resolution done, and I felt very proud of myself walking away because of how I made sure that I handled that situation. And another thing, speaking on that, as parents and as adults, we also have to be very careful as to how we handle other people's kids. I cannot stress to you guys enough how important it is to make sure, even if you're not a parent yet, but especially if you are one, when you're encountering other people's kids, you don't want to cause harm. You don't want to cause pain. No matter what it is, you know, you have to remember that you're the adult. You have to remember you have a code that you need to be following. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of respect and hierarchy there. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with other people's kids, you have to be very careful. Because I feel like as an adult, sometimes adults do things to kids because they feel like it won't be done back to them. I'm an adult, I'm big, I'm strong, whatever, I can say this and say that, and it's going to be okay because nobody can do it back to me. Well, that's true. But you have kids, you have nieces and nephews, you have other little people that you happen to care about. And I'm a strong believer in karma and that things that happen, they're going to come back around. So I make sure, you know what I'm saying, when I'm dealing with other people's kids, no matter how frustrated I am, I do my best to always be kind and respectful and loving to them. Because I understand that I got kids too, and that they're going to go into the world without me, and I want people to treat my kids with dignity and respect. If somebody says something about my kid or accuse my kid of something, I would want that person to ask my child what happened. You know what I'm saying? Ask me, talk to me. Don't just take my baby and do them any old kind of way. Because just the way that, you know, Miss Commissioner Lady, you wanted to make sure that your baby was safe, you wanted to make sure that your baby wasn't mistreated, that those kids' parents felt the same way. That little boy's mother and father feel the same way. They don't want him mistreated or harmed either. So we really, as adults, have to be very careful as to how we treat other people's children. I just really wanted to make sure I say that. So going forward, I'm going to wrap this up, but going forward, I will say this to the city commissioner. Like I said before, I do feel like you are redeemable. I do feel like due to some unaddressed traumas, you reacted in a way that wasn't good at all, and now it's caused a lot of trouble for you. I know that Sheriff Judd wants you out of that position because he wanted his friend in it, and you may have just handed it to him. Hopefully not. As of right now, they say you still got your position, so hopefully everything will be okay. But I certainly suggest that you and your daughter get some counseling and some anger management help as well, and just take it easy on yourself. Being a parent don't come with a bunch of handbooks. It don't come with a how-to guide. We do the best that we can through trial and error, unfortunately. So just keep trying to do the best that you can and make sure that you control your temper and discipline yourself, all right? And going forward, we need to protect the babies with common sense so that we don't end up neglecting the babies while serving a prison sentence. Okay? That's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Bye.